Hi everyone, in this session I am going to show you how to update the Crisis Communications app. The team have worked very hard on this. I know Brian Dang's worked very hard on this, and there's a lot of people have been testing it to make sure it kind of behaves in the most optimal way. So I think even on one level it is a pretty amazing thing. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to just show you how to actually how to update the app that you may have already brought in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to bring in the solution and so on. So here I am, I'm in Microsoft Office, but actually the first thing I'm going to do is navigate to the Power Apps blog. I'm going to go to Power Apps blog, search that, go into the blog, and then go into the Crisis Communication. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you that there's going to be a change in the look and feel of the app. In actual fact, the datasets that lie underneath this haven't changed at all, but it does mean that it's more performant than it was before. They've done some very clever things in terms of how the app resizes itself. So you can see here, this is the tablet version of the app, but the mobile version of the app works very well as well. And the other thing to note is there is a government cloud version of the app as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to go and click on getting the full instructions, because that gets us to the URL that we need in order to download the most recent update. So what we need to do is go to aka.ms /CrisisCommunicationSolution. What that'll do is it'll take us all the way across to the solution here. And then all we need to do, we don't need to be signed into this. We can just click on the zip file here, and then we can click download. And what that's going to do, it's going to download onto my computer. I'm going to call it, well, I've already done V2, so I'm going to call this V3 vid. Okay. So that'll take, it doesn't actually take very long at all to download. So I'm going to click show in folder so I can actually see where it is. I'm going to show it on my screen here. And then I need to extract all and just extract. This is just going to be in my downloads section, and at this point we do have zip files, but what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the Crisis Communication and the admin app. We'll have a look at this news notification app as well. I don't think that one was there before. But we don't need the deploy SharePoint list and so on. And we'll take a quick look at the status report as well. This could turn out to be a bit longer than I first thought. So what I'm going to do is I need to navigate back to, I'll take a copy of this. I'll do a copy of that because I need to get to it later on. And I'll come out of this and I'll go on to, normally I'd be on the Office 365 landing page. You may need to click on Power Apps, and then when you do, you'll get to this location here. And then what I'll do is click onto Apps. You may be tempted to click Create, and then what you do is you go Import Canvas App. So what I need to do is now I need to navigate to the app that we just brought in. Notice that says V2. I'm going to go for the V3. There's my V3 vid. And I need to go into this folder here because I've got my items in here. So as part of this process, I'm not going to look at the GCC version, but I am going to try and bring in Crisis Communication Admin, and I'm going to have a look at this news notification, which is probably a new app, so it'll be new to me. So I'm going to click on Crisis Communication, which is the one that the users would use. And so what we're going to do is we are going to import over the top of the app that was previously there. It's going to feel a bit strange, and what you may wish to do is actually give it a different name, make sure you're happy with it, and then bring it in. I'm going to bring it straight in over the top. So notice this says create as new. Now if you wanted to give it my new name, then that would come through with that new name. But in actual fact, I'm going to cancel that, and instead of clicking create as new, I'm going to click the drop down, click update. And what that will do is it will go it will ask me which one do you want to go over the top of, and it just completely smashes it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the top of this crisis communication. Now the reason for doing it this way is that any sharing, the app ID, all those sorts of things, they won't change. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring that in this way. And then I'll need to click on this flow here. It says I've got an option to create as new, but I don't want to. I want to update it. And then it'll search for the flow that was previously there. And it's this one here. Do be very careful that you actually click on the correct one. Then you click save. And then you just do the select and import on here. And you shouldn't need to create new if you're creating over the top of one that's already. So we should be able to just click on there. And we should be able to click on this one here because it had previously been created. So there we go. Now that should, we've got one more to do. Select and import, and we'll click on that as well. Now I'm a little bit concerned on this because this has taken a connection from my personal tenant. So we'll see how that behaves, because it should be all Rory at covid19app.onmicrosoft.com, but we'll see how that goes. It shouldn't be a huge problem. So it's going to import the package. Then what's going to happen is we will then get the chance to open it. We'll then need to remove the SharePoint lists that were there previously, and we'll have to bring them back in again. So you'll need to navigate to the place that you put your SharePoint list. So you'll need to know your SharePoint site that you brought those lists into. But in all likelihood, they will be there already. So it's brought this in now, and so what we're going to do is we need to go to open apps. So please do not publish at this point in time. I'll need to show you a few more things. So I'm going to click open app, and this will open the app in an edit mode. As I say, what we're going to do is we will get rid of the connections to the old SharePoint list and bring in the connections to the new one. I'll click on allow on all these, and then it should start to render the app for us. Do be aware that when you are in edit mode, it won't actually render it as if it's a tablet. So I think that's something that will come in time. So it is a little bit peculiar in that respect. So I'm going to click skip on this. And then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to view data source, and of course the first thing it's done is it's pointing at it suggests that it's actually pointing at the wrong thing. I'm a little bit wary about this because it's looking a bit unhappy with life at this point in time. So I can't quite tell what it's upset with. So what I'm going to do is just to be absolutely sure. I'm a little bit surprised it's managed to work this out, so I'm going to remove these and just bring them back in again and just see if that sort of cures my ills. The way I previously had to do it was I had to do it in this way. So I will do a try and tested method. So I'm now going to go to data sources. In fact, I'm in the right place, and I need to just type in share at the top, click on SharePoint, and then click on SharePoint again. Then it's going to ask me the site. Now I have a site already, and if you've already imported the app, you should have the site here. If you don't have the site, what you'll need to do is you'll need to go to the place that the site exists. So go onto SharePoint, and then you'll need to navigate to your site. We can do that now. I'll just click on central. Actually, it's not the right one. Crisis information is the one I need to be on, and you'd need to snip all the way up to where it does /sites crisis information. In fact, it's all of that, and then return to here, and then you would click in the top, and then you would connect, and then what you do is you click on all of these items here, right down to, we don't need the documents, I don't believe, and then we click connect on there. Now what I will do is once this is connected here, now please configure this in the Crisis Communication app. That's wonderful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do file, and then I'm going to save out of here. So in theory, we've actually done everything that we need to in here. So maybe what I should have done was bring in the I should have brought in the admin app first and then bring in the user app. So I'm going to do File and then go Save. Now it will offer me the ability to publish it. I'm not going to do that yet. Let's go to See All Versions. That was a bit quick, but See All Versions. And what you'll see is that the version we're currently on is not the latest version. So if I go onto there, and I could click Publish It at this point, but it wouldn't be a good idea. So I'm going to come off there. I'm going to clean up my screen a little bit. I'm going to close out of this, and I'm going to bring in the administration app. So I've obviously come off this. So I've come off the blog, Power Apps blog, Power Apps. Oh no, I need to just go to Power Apps blog. In fact, I don't need to go there at all. All I need to do now is I need to go to click on Apps here, and then I need to go to Import App, and then I need to go to Upload, and then I can go to Crisis Communication Admin. I can click Open, and then it will just whir away through, and we're going to go through the same update process to bring this app so that it is the most up-to-date version of the app. So some of you may have actually been updating your app ever since this came in to meet your needs. So if that is the case, you will probably really need to redo those changes. So this bit where it says Create as New, what I need to do is change that and make sure I've got an update. And I need to make sure I specifically pick the Crisis Communication Admin app there, and then click Save and then Import. So once again, it's going to whir around. I'm going to go in there. I will probably delete the SharePoint list items and then bring them in again. So now I've got the option to open the app here. There are other ways of getting to the app, because you could just go straight to apps there, and you can see it's been modified 15 seconds ago. Click on the drop down and then you can click Edit from here. Just notice that I've got the V2 versions there. That was just me playing around with it to see what the latest version was, and you may wish to do that yourselves. Just bear in mind that whichever version you're on, they will still interact with the same SharePoint lists. Well, at least if you point them at those SharePoint lists. So here it comes. We've got the administration app is coming in now. I'm not entirely sure how upset it will be. We'll see. It doesn't seem too upset, which is a nice thing, and I may leave it at that. But just bear in mind that that if it is upset, in fact, it's got a bit of a. Now these ones here, I'm just going to look at the formulas here, and you can see it's got warnings. Delegation warnings are ones where there is a risk that you have tried to bring in too much information into the app. And just bear in mind that too much information in this case, you would need to have more than 500 helpful tips, more than 500 FAQs, more than 500 links, companies, etc., etc. And the only place that's going to happen is possibly on company contacts, but they're supposed to be emergency contacts, so you're probably not going to have an issue here. So what I will do though, so I'm going to press, I'll press on with this. I don't seem to have any issues. I'm going to go to View Data Sources and just check. It does appear to be connected correctly. I'm just going to hit the play option here, go onto the admin settings and just see if it looks wired up. Now this doesn't feel properly wired up at the moment because it should be connecting correctly. So what I am going to do is I am going to, you can see it's a little bit upset already. So so what I am going to do is I'm going to I might just try and refresh these and see whether that fixes. In fact, it doesn't like that at all. So I am going to remove these. I'm going to remove them all and then put them back in again. So this is, that's fine. So over we go. We need to go to data sources. In fact, I just need to type in share there, over to SharePoint, click on SharePoint. Then I need to click on, now it's this crisis information one here. I need to be a bit careful on this. I'm pretty sure it's that I need to actually, yes, it must be this. And I need to bring all of these items in here and click connect, and that should be an awful lot less upset this time round. In fact, you can see it's less upset now, because you can see that it's actually it's kind of behaving itself. Now you can see there's an oddity on the drop down here, which I'm going to have a quick look at. I am just going to see, I'm just going to click on this and just see what it says. Now I've turned off the shared status. I'll turn it back on again though. Government RSS feed, I'm going to leave that. And I'm going to click save on this. So I'm actually properly using the app at this point in time. It says my submission was successful, which is quite nice. I must admit, I wasn't really that into using these notification things. I think they're quite nice. So what I'm now going to do is I'm now going to, in theory, we've actually done it correctly. But what we haven't done is we haven't fully published these, and I'm just going to take a chance and I'm just going to fully publish them so that we get the full user experience. So I'm going to do file and then save. And then once it's saved, I'm then going to say publish, publish this version. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to show you that the previous version of the app, so the crisis communication, as you can see, if I go on to details and versions, we did see earlier on that this was the old version. So you can see this is the 13th of March and the earliest one was the 5th of March. So we need to actually, we'll need to change that. But I think it'll be an interesting exercise just to show how these behave. So what I'm going to do is, this isn't about navigation now. This is about just getting to my app as quickly as I possibly can. So I should know how to get to these things. Just straight to apps, and then I am just going to go into this, but this time round I'm actually hit play on it. So just bear in mind that if you put this into Teams and put them onto all these wonderful places, if you brought it in over the top of it, you don't need to change any of that. It will just work perfectly well. Effectively, the app ID stays the same. So this is the admin app. Now what we should find here is, you can see that it's actually now changed in size. I can't quite remember if it changed before. What I will show you now is this is the old version of the app. So this is the old version of the user app. So if I click play on there, then what we should find is, well, what we'll find is it'll be different to what it'll be in about 3 or 4 minutes time. So this is the old version of the app. I'll click allow on there. So this is the old version, right? So I'm now going to close that down, and I'm going to go to the details, and I'm going to go to versions. Then I'm going to hit the 3 dots and then go publish this version. And there we are. So that's published, and now I'm going to go back to apps, and I'm then going to go into my crisis communication and play there. So what we should see is this is brilliant, and this is off topic, but it is still brilliant. So Wash Your Lyrics, washyourlyrics.com, and what you do with Wash Your Lyrics is you put in a song that you like, say, so you could do your song, and then you go Elton John. So I say your song, it is actually called your song, and then you click generate, and then what that does is it generates for you a poster, so that instead of singing happy birthday when you're washing your hands, you're supposed to sing happy birthday twice. In fact, what you do is you end up singing your song. So here it is, look. So this is so cool. But anyway, here's off topic, but I think it's brilliant. And it's a fun way of kind of getting people into the idea of actually washing their hands, which can't be a bad thing. So that was a little bonus element there. But we're going to come back onto topic, because I did notice that. So we've actually brought those apps in. Awesome, brought the apps in, great. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to, well, actually, let's just jump on Teams and just verify that I've only got one team. So we should just be able to verify that we've got the latest version. In all fairness, there's nothing in your face that's jumping out that makes it the latest version. But I know it's really around how it works in the browser and how it reshapes itself. So if I go to Central Crisis Administration, I think that I actually put it in there, and there's the present status. I think that's the app that's in there, but this is the administration. So this will be the administration app that will go in there. In fact, I don't think it is the administration app. I think this one's actually, yeah. So this is the user app. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Do you know what? I don't think that app immediately updated. So we can go back here. I don't think that this updated. So let's go and have another look at this. That's better. Yeah, so this is how it works now. So it just shows they did actually do something. So this is the most up-to-date version of the app. I did it a little bit quickly, unfortunately. So I can now jump to company news, and here's company news, and they've done a really, really great job. Yeah, that's excellent, isn't it? And then there's the FAQs, and then your links, emergency contacts. You know, hats off to these. They have done a wonderful job of this. I think that's us really well. We're actually done on this. We've brought in the most recent iteration of the app, and just make sure that you know how to share things. We did this before, but I'm going to reiterate that you need to go to portal.azure.com. The best way to share your apps is with a group. So all you need to do is you need to go to Azure Active Directory. Then what you need to do is you need to it'll get there in the end. We will need to go to groups, and then you can create a new group. You can see that I've created one there, so you can create a new group. We can call it test 123, test 123, 23, that'll do. And then you go create, you pop some people in there, and then that group, you can start sharing things with it. So if you go to, if you're on there and you go to members, and then you go to add members, and then I think I'll user something, user 1 and user 2, pop them in there, and then click select. That means it's got some users, and that then means that when you go onto your app itself and you go onto the sharing element of the app, so you can go onto there and you share it. Now obviously you can share it with your entire organization, which is perfectly valid. So everyone in Data Spinners, that will share it with everyone, but alternatively I could have share it with test 2-3, which would then you can actually make them co-owners, which I wouldn't want to do. But if you want to make this a tighter group of people, because not all organizations want to have it across the whole organization, it may be that you've got a very big tenant. So what you can then do is you can click share, and then that means that you've shared it with a much tighter group than before. So thank you for watching. Do drop any comments in if you find that you're not sure about anything, and I'll do my best to answer them. If I can't answer them, I will share them with the team. Well, good luck, and stay safe.